Countdown Till Christmas is brought to you by Princess Grams. Personalized, magical, musical greetings from your favorite characters. Learn more and send one at princessgrams.com. Well, hello there. Thank you for coming back to see me today. It really does make me happy to decorate, sing, and share stories with someone nice like you. And are you ready to find out what's in our Advent calendar for today? Let's see. Oh, look. It's a lovely stained glass star. Oh, and I really like how the Christmas lights shine through it, through the transparent glass, and show the pretty color. Well, why don't we hang our star here? You know, this transparent star reminds me of some of the very beautiful and colorful decorations that they have in the Philippines. The Philippines has some of the biggest and longest lasting Christmas celebrations in the world. The Christmas season begins as early as September and lasts until January. I don't know about you, but I think I would really enjoy that. Many Filipinos are Catholic, so church activities and spending time with family are important to the celebrations. These combine Western and native Filipino traditions. You can find large parades, shimmering light displays, and all kinds of decorations. One very special decoration that comes from the Philippines is the parol. Traditional parols are star-shaped and may have a light inside them like a lantern. They're often made from bamboo and transparent colored paper, but you'll find them made from other materials too. Did you know that you can make your own parol at home? These ones were made by some of my friends. You can see here how they made the wooden frame for the star, then they glued on and trimmed the paper, and finally put them up for display. Don't they look beautiful? Thank you for sharing your parols with us. Well, there are many languages spoken in the Philippines, and one of them is Tagalog. And if you want to say Merry Christmas in Tagalog, you say Maligayang Pasko. So let's try that together. Maligayang, maligayang, Pasko, Pasko, Maligayang Pasko. Maligayang Pasko. Very nice. Well, why don't we continue celebrating by singing a new song together? And do you remember yesterday when I asked if you had any jingle bells at home? Well, our song is the reason, and we're going to use them very soon. Now, I bet you know at least part of this song already. It goes like this. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Isn't that a fun song to sing? And I bet you already know most of the words, if not all of them. Well, today we're just going to work on the chorus. And the lyrics to that are jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. And you sing that 2 times. Well, this song is all about the bells that jingle as you go on a sleigh ride. Wouldn't it be fun to be out in the snow on a sleigh? Maybe some of you are. I wonder if it snows where you live. Well, if you've never been out on a sleigh ride, I thought I would show you a picture of what a one-horse open sleigh looks like. It's just like this, a sleigh, kind of like Santa has, with no roof, that's why it's open, pulled by one horse. A one-horse open sleigh. And before we had cars, people in snowy areas used to travel regularly on sleighs pulled by horses. It could be hard to hear or see other people who were on the road because horses and sleighs are very quiet. And the snow can also make the sound less strong too. It can dampen the sound. So to help other drivers know that you were on the road, people would put bells on their horses. And that way they would make more noise. So that's why we have bells on sleigh rides. And speaking of bells, these ones are mine. They're on little snowflakes. So if you happen to have some bells with you, why don't you jingle them with me as we sing? So again, our lyrics are, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Well, are you ready to try singing that 2 times with me? Okay, here we go. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Let's sing it one more time. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey! Well, great job. That was a lot of fun for me, and I hope it was for you too. And Sasha isn't here right now to show you this, but she actually had heard Jingle Bells earlier too. Well, bring your bells back tomorrow because we will be learning the verse part of Jingle Bells then. But for right now, it's time for our story of the day. And we are continuing a story from yesterday, which is called The Philanthropist's Christmas, and it's written by James Weber Linn. Well, if you missed yesterday's video, I'd recommend going back to watch it for the beginning, but here's a quick version of what happened. We have Mr. Carter, who is a very wealthy man and a philanthropist. That means he gives away his money, a lot of his money, to help other people in need. Well, he has lost his dog recently, and while he was out on a walk, he met a little boy who asked him to come and pretend to be Santa Claus for a sick friend. The friend's name is Bill. And Mr. Carter wasn't going to do it, but then he found out that Bill had recently gotten a dog, and the dog maybe was Mr. Carter's missing dog. And so Mr. Carter and the boy went back to the family's home, which was in a tenement building, and they brought a Christmas tree, and we were just hearing that the boys in an organization that helps other people were going to give Bill and his family a Christmas, with a Christmas tree and gifts and everything. And so right now, Mr. Carter is getting ready to go in and pretend to be Santa Claus, but really to see the dog. And so we'll find out what happens. The boy who brought Mr. Carter over was just saying, "Now Bill's got to see Santa Claus. I'll just go in and tell him, and then when I holler, mister, you come on in and pretend you're Santa Claus." And with incredible celerity, the boy opened the door at the opposite end of the room and disappeared. "Madam," said Mr. Carter in considerable embarrassment, "I must say one word. I am Mr. Carter, Mr. Alan Carter. You may have heard my name." She shook her head. "No, sir. I live not far from here on the avenue. 3 weeks ago I lost a little dog that I valued very much. I have had all the city searched since then, in vain. Today I met the boy who has just left us. He informed me that 3 weeks ago he found a dog which is at present in the possession of your son. I wonder, is it not just possible that this dog may be mine?" Mrs. Bailey smiled. "Oh, I guess not, Mr. Carter. The dog Jimmy found hadn't come off the avenue, not from the look of him. You know there's hundreds and hundreds of dogs without homes, sir. But I will say for this one, he has a kind of way with him." "Hark," said Mr. Carter. There was a rustling and a snuffling at the door at the far end of the room, a quick scratching of feet, then woof, woof, woof. Sharp and clear came happy, impatient little barks. The philanthropist's eyes brightened. "Yes," he said, "that is the dog." "I doubt if it can be, sir," said Mrs. Bailey deprecatingly. "Open the door, please," commanded the philanthropist, "and let us see." Mrs. Bailey complied. There was a quick jump, a tumbling rush, and Skittles, the lost Skittles, was in the philanthropist's arms. Mrs. Bailey shut the door with a troubled face. "I see it is your dog, sir," she said, "but I hope you won't be thinking that Jimmy or I—" "Madam," interrupted Mr. Carter, "I could not be so foolish. On the contrary, I owe you 1,000 thanks." Mrs. Bailey looked more cheerful. "Poor little Billy," she said. "It'll come hard on him losing Pete just at Christmas time. But the boys are so good to him. I dare say he'll forget it." "Who are these boys?" inquired the philanthropist. "Isn't their action somewhat unusual?" "It's Miss Gray's club at the settlement, sir," explained Mrs. Bailey. "Every Christmas they do this for somebody. It's not charity. Billy and I don't need charity or take it. It's just friendliness. They're good boys." "I see," said the philanthropist. He was still wondering about it, though, when the door opened again, and Jimmy thrust out a face shining with anticipation. "All ready, mister," he said. "Bill's waiting for you." "Jimmy," began Mrs. Bailey, about to explain, "the gentleman—" But the philanthropist held up his hand, interrupting her. "You'll let me see your son, Mrs. Bailey?" he asked gently. "Why, certainly, sir." Mr. Carter put Skittles down and walked slowly into the inner room. The bed stood with its side toward him. On it lay a small boy of 7, rigid of body, but with arms free, and his face lighted with joy. "Hello, Santa Claus!" he piped in a voice shrill with excitement. "Hello, Bill," answered the philanthropist sedately. The boy turned his eyes on Jimmy. "He knows my name," he said with glee. "He knows everybody's name," said Jimmy. "Now you tell him what you'd like, Bill, and he'll bring it tomorrow." "How would you like," said the philanthropist reflectively, "an—" He hesitated. It seemed so incongruous with that stiff figure on the bed. "An air gun." "I guess yes," said Bill happily. "And a train of cars," broke in the impatient Jimmy, "that goes like 60 when you wind her." "Oh," said Bill. The philanthropist solemnly made notes of this. "How about," he remarked inquiringly, "a tree?" "Honest?" said Bill. "I think it can be managed," said Santa Claus. He advanced to the bedside. "I'm glad to have seen you, Bill. You know how busy I am, but I hope to see you again." "Not till next year, of course," warned Jimmy. "Not till then, of course," assented Santa Claus. "And now, goodbye." "You forgot to ask him if he'd been a good boy," suggested Jimmy. "I have," said Bill. "I've been fine. You ask Mother. She gives you both a high character," said Santa Claus. "Goodbye again." And so saying, he withdrew. Skittles followed him out. The philanthropist closed the door of the bedroom and then turned to Mrs. Bailey. She was regarding him with awestruck eyes. "Oh, sir," she said, "I know now who you are, the Mr. Carter that gives so much away to people." The philanthropist nodded deprecatingly. "Just so, Mrs. Bailey," he said, "and there is one gift, or loan, rather, which I should like to make to you. I should like to leave the little dog with you till after the holidays. I'm afraid I'll have to claim him then, but if you'll keep him until after Christmas, and let me find perhaps another dog for Billy, I shall be much obliged." Again, the door of the bedroom opened, and Jimmy emerged quietly. "Bill wants the pup," he explained. "Pete, Pete!" came the piping but happy voice from the inner room. Skittles hesitated. Mr. Carter made no sign. "Pete! Pete!" shrilled the voice again. Slowly, very slowly, Skittles turned and went back into the bedroom. "You see," said Mr. Carter, smiling, "he won't be too unhappy away from me, Mrs. Bailey." On his way home, the philanthropist saw even more evidences of Christmas gaiety along the streets than before. He stepped out briskly in spite of his 68 years. He even hummed a little tune. When he reached the house on the avenue, he found his secretary still at work. "Oh, by the way, Mr. Matthews," he said, "did you send that letter to the woman saying I never paid attention to personal appeals? No? Then write her, please, enclosing my check for $200. And wish her a very Merry Christmas in my name, will you? And hereafter, will you always let me see such letters as that one? Of course, after careful investigation. I fancy perhaps I may have been too rigid in the past." "Certainly, sir," answered the bewildered secretary. He began fumbling excitedly for his notebook. "I've found the little dog," continued the philanthropist. "You will be glad to know that." "You have found him?" cried the secretary. "Have you got him back, Mr. Carter? Where was he?" "He was detained on Oak Street, I believe," said the philanthropist. "No, I have not got him back yet. I have left him with a young boy till after the holidays." He settled himself to his papers, for philanthropists must toil even on the 24th of December. But the secretary shook his head in a daze. "I wonder what's happened," he said to himself. Well, why don't we end our time together today with another Christmas carol? And this one is called Joy to the World. And if you know it, why don't you sing with me? Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. Thank you for joining me again today. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share it with a friend. That not only encourages me, it also makes a big difference to my channel and helps others find videos they would enjoy too. Wishing you a joyful season and a happy day. I'll see you tomorrow.